Hi. Okay, the plan was to jump on and do the next video tomorrow, but I thought I'd get on one just this morning. It's Saturday morning. The reason being is we had 5 candidates last night. We managed to get 2 bets on. We lost them both. So it looks like it might be a case of our luck ran out yesterday. So I just wanted to go through these 5 games so I didn't have to explain them on Sunday morning, because Sunday morning probably going to have enough to do going through these 18 or so Saturday games. So, talking about the luck running out, I'm going to go through the disaster that we had last night. Like I say, there was 5 games. I don't think, well, potentially one went to plan, which was the Atletico game, and even that wasn't very convincing. Where Atletico won 2-1 because they were the favourites. It was 1-1 at half time. Atletico did score first, but obviously these top 3 games all had goals in the first half. I should have actually put that Atletico game on. I was just concentrating on the other 2 though, that were nils each at half time. Obviously that Atletico game there was 1s each at half time, and I was saying in previous videos, will I get on a score draw at half time, or will I just do the 0-0? I should have actually done that because Atletico went on to win. Again, because I didn't get on, I'm not sure what the half time lay odds were for the draw. But I didn't, so it's by the by now anyway. It would have been another win though if we'd had got onto it, so I'll probably do that in future if there's a score draw. With regards to the games, West Brom, on a plus point last night, West Brom, I think I've done about 20 or so 2-ups. If you have a look at, if you do a search for 2-ups on the match betting scene, it's a strategy in match betting whereby if a team goes 2-up, the bookies pay out as though they won. So I had Huddersfield to win with Bet365. Huddersfield went 2-0 up, so Bet365 paid out, and I had the lay against Huddersfield on Smarkets, another exchange similar to Betfair. And because Huddersfield didn't actually win the game, Smarkets paid out as well. And like I say, it's definitely the first 2-up I've had in about sort of 20 games, and the idea there is you just have small qualifying losses for each game, and then the profit for that one 2-up's put me, the money I've made off that 2-up yesterday has put me well in profit for the 2-up strategy over the course of 20 or so bets. Anyhow, it didn't help us here because there was a goal by half time to Huddersfield, and like I say, Huddersfield went 2-0 up. I think West Brom came back into it really late, the last sort of 5-10 minutes, got 2 goals to equalise, so I ended in a draw, 2-2. So if we had got on that, we would have lost. In this Ajax game, dear me, they were 1.16 for the win, and that was, luckily, I mean, they went 2-0 up by half time, but then the underdogs, shall we call them, rather than try and pronounce the name, they pulled 2 goals back, and then Ajax only won it 3-2 in like injury time, I think it was. Anyhow, we didn't get on that one either, so that leaves the 2 that we did get on, and the news was just as bad, if not worse, because we're actually trading on these and lost money on both. So the Benfica game, I'll go through that one. It finished 1-1, so we lost because we've got no exit strategy. We'll just leave everything run through the end of the game. I was expecting a goal even after I went to 1-1, but I'll go through the game. I think in the 8th minute, Benfica got a player sent off, so they played like the whole game with 10 men. And then it was still 0-0 at half time. There'd been quite a few shots, so I just put it on anyway. And I was thinking about not putting a trade on because Benfica, the favourites, were down to 10 men. I think if Benfica had been away from home, I would have probably definitely not bothered. But again, it's only £2 and it was only a £4.10 qualifying loss. So I just decided to go with it for that reason. It might be something I introduce in the strategy in future, like if there's been a red card. But at the moment, I'm not going to bother with that because, like I say, part of the strategy I'm trying to develop here is something where I can just sort of leave it and not sit and have to watch all these games. I know, again, people like traders are going to cringe at that, but I want something in place where I win the majority of the time by not having to sit and watch going through games. You know, I don't mind taking a few losses en route, as long as I don't have to sit and do all the sort of mundane sitting watching scores go through and things like that. Anyhow, the Vizela, I don't know how you pronounce that either, but they took the lead in the 65th minute. Now, at that point we could have cashed out if we didn't have it. If we had a different strategy, we could have cashed out, but Benfica equalised in the 75th minute, and that put this trade in jeopardy because that only left 15 minutes plus injury time to get a winner, which didn't happen. But looking at the stats, Benfica had 22 attempts and 9 on target, and the opposition had 20 attempts and 4 on target. So I think there were plenty of opportunities to get another goal, but you know, it could have still went another goal each in whatever direction, and we would have still lost. But as it happens, we lost anyway. So we lost £4.10 on that trade. And then Lille St Etienne, I haven't really got an idea what happened there, considering how, well, actually the 1.74, I was going to say considering how much of a favourite Lille were, but 1.74 at home isn't sort of the be all and end all. But I still think, well, Lille were still obviously favourites and they should have won the game. I'm just going to bring the stats up. That ended 0-0, so that's the worst case scenario. Would have been better off on the Atletico or the Ajax game than the Lille game in that respect, but obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing and you just got to go with the probabilities. So I'm just looking at the game stats. Lille had 51% of possession, St Etienne had 49, so that was pretty even. Lille 10 attempts, St Etienne 11, so again pretty even. Nothing to show that Lille were odds-on favourites. And then the on targets, we had Lille 2 and St Etienne 3, so again pretty even and pretty low considering they had 10 and 11 attempts respectively each. So that was just a downer that we lost. Maybe one idea there at half time was to look and see, you know, how many attempts had been. You know, I did that with the Fulham game against Swansea though, and there hadn't been many attempts, and I still put that on. I know Swansea were down to 10 men, so again I wasn't looking too much detail at half time about how many attempts there had been, although there hadn't been many, and I did see that, but I still put the trade on anyway, and we lost that one. So out of those two trades, we lost £4.10 and £3.4, which is £7.14. Now I want to show you on the trading strategy 1. We'd obviously placed, that's not the whole list there, get the whole list up, right, there we go. So trading strategy 1, I've just pulled down here, I'm trying to do this one-handed, apologies. Trading strategy 1, we would have had, before last night we had £9.80 profit, and we've just lost the majority of that, because we've obviously had 2 losses. And previous to that, we've only had 5 wins, so we've had now 5. It's gone from 5-0 to 5-2. So you can see there that it's kind of wiped out the profit we had, not quite. So we've currently run at a £2.66 profit, which is a bit disappointing now for the week. But like I say, we haven't been on many games in the last 2, we've just lost. So as you can see there, that's probably, that 266 accounts for one of these. So you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4. So one of these losses is wiping out 2 wins. So that's where I was saying 1 loss out of 3 will kind of break it even, not just above even, which is shown here. So 3 out of 4 would run us with a profit. So what I've done on strategy 2 is I've actually applied the profit and loss we would have had with the same £2 stakes, but entering pre-game, so having a much bigger liability. So you can see if we entered, say, just take this top game here, £3.40 liability. That's because the odds when we got in at half time were 2.7. If we'd got in at the start, it would have been 4.3, so that would have been £8.60 minus the £2 stake, which would be £6.60 would have been the liability. So just going through this set of figures, the profit before last night would have been £25.90. We would have been up £25.90 on all these bets. You can see down here before last night we would have lost that one there, 11.20, because Bournemouth Peterborough ended in a draw. So basically strategy 2 is where if we actually lose the trade if the result is a draw. We've still got no exit strategy, but we enter pre-game is the only difference, so we'd actually win a lot more of the trades. So I wanted to see what the profit was like on that, and the profit is a lot bigger. It's £25.90 compared to, remember, about what was that, about £9. 10 quid nearly. And this other one we would have lost was the Bolton Morecambe game, because that ended 1-1, and then the only other one we would have lost, oh no, sorry, that was last night as well, West Brom Huddersfield. Sorry, I've got too many highlighted there. I'll just highlight, it wasn't £25, sorry, it's 27. So before last night, so apologies for I had a one or two extra highlighted there. So before last night, the profit we would have had was £27. So I just want to put last night's in as well, because out of the 5 last night, we would have actually lost 3. Because we would have obviously lost the West Brom Huddersfield, because that ended in a draw, and if we got in beforehand and didn't have an exit strategy until in the game, remember, anything where it ends in a draw, we lose. So we would have lost 5.10 on West Brom. Not 5.10 is the actual starting odds for the draw. We would have lost £12 on the Benfica game, because that was 7-1 for the draw, and we would have lost £5.90 on the Lille game. That was only 3.95 for the draw. So if I highlight all of those now, sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. So the £27 profit goes down to £8. So you can see last night, regardless of which way you look at it, was overall bad. And I don't know if our luck's just run out, or if there's something else we can do. But the £27 profit has been wiped out down to 28, so we've lost £20 yesterday. So the profit for yesterday on this strategy 2 is minus 19 quid. So I'm going to run this TS2 profit. I can't get a 3 yet because I haven't been looking at what I need to do for the 3 was see what the lay odds were for the draw after the first goal. That's something I'm going to start doing, but I'm not going to do it today because, like I say, I'm going to be out and about today. Oh, by the way, my friend, Liverpool supporter, apparently wasn't born in the northeast. He claims his claim to fame was he's born like somewhere between Reading and Windsor, so that's his excuse for supporting Liverpool. Unbelievable, but there you go. That sorry, I just thought I'd say that because I think he thinks I owe him an apology for. Oops, I've just done something wrong. I think he thinks I owe him an apology, so there's my apology anyway. Sorry, mate. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, I'm gonna. So I'm not gonna get the TS3 results there until after Saturday. I might start Sunday, so I'll have to go through each game, and every time the first goal scored, I'll have to jump on and see. Obviously, I'm getting the minute of the first goal, but what I'll do is I'll get the lay odds as well after the market settles, about a minute or so after the first goal. I'll try and jump on. It obviously means monitoring all the games in a bit more detail than what I'm doing at the moment, but I will do that so I can get some figures together on TS3, because I'm thinking that might be a half decent strategy. Also, the TS2, where we're laying, if we started laying the draw before the game kicks off, so pre-game, so we enter pre-game, I'm thinking maybe don't do it where the odds are ridiculously high, because you see this Benfica game where we would have lost £12. I'm thinking don't do high ones, do something like 4 or less, and that would minimise the loss if we did lose. So here the Bournemouth Peterborough was 6.6 pre-game, so we wouldn't have got in on that one, and we lost 11.20. This one here was 7, so we wouldn't have got in that one. We wouldn't have lost the £12. But then again, we wouldn't have got in on that one because that was 11. So we wouldn't have made the 196 there. There's probably a couple others as well. I wouldn't have got in on that one or that one. So there's a few 196s I wouldn't have got in on. That was just one idea. There's another one there, 6.4, 5.2, maybe go up to like 5, but probably not include a 5.2. I would need to go through these and filter out anything over 5. So that one, for example, we wouldn't have got on that one. I know we didn't anyway, but I'm thinking if we apply strategy 2 and then don't get on anything pre-game that's over 5, wouldn't have got on these. So that would obviously cut a lot of the profit down over this side. The only counter thought against that one is that because these odds are so high for the draw, they're not expecting it to be a draw. They're expecting the home team to sort of blitz. Sorry, not the home team. Sorry, apologies. It's the favourites. They're expecting the favourites to be so odds on. You can see that Benfica here were 1.29, and the draw was 7. So we've got a higher liability and a higher chance of losing the money, but not a higher chance of losing the money, a better chance of losing more money if we did lose, but not a higher probability of actually losing the trade. So I don't know, it swings and roundabouts really. That's obviously if we stay to the lower ones, they're the ones you're more likely to lose. It just so happens that we've lost a few of the higher ones, so I will keep that in mind as we go. It's not something I'm going to do straight away. I'm just looking down to today's games to see if there's any high ones. 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3. Because you see these 3 ones, the ones under 4, the chances of the favourite isn't as much of an odds-on favourite. See how that's the favourite there is closer to 2. It's 1.97. That's why the draw's under 4. And again 3.9, 1.8. And when you get the higher odds, for laying the draw of 6, the Man City are more odds on than say Exeter, for example. So I don't know, that could be counterproductive. It might just be because we've still got a small sample set here, we're losing some of the bigger ones. But like I say, even if we did do these ones and lost 12 quid on that game, we've still got a profit of £8 showing for the week, which isn't great. But if obviously we're multiplying these stakes by 10, I would have lost 120 here, but then my profit for the week would have been £80, and we would have been staking £20 on each game. And that's where I like to take this at some point, but obviously we're still just trialing at the moment, so we're not going to raise the stakes that much that quickly until we get some more data. What I will do, depending on the remainder of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday results, once we get this padded out and then Sunday padded out, if we're still in profit, what I will do, because we'll have been doing a week then, well, it'll be more than a week. We've done a week now, to be honest, because we started this on last Saturday. What I will do though after Sunday, if we're still in profit and we haven't had any more disasters like last night. To be fair, last night was the first disaster. Everything else was going well until then. Strategy 1 we had £10 profit. Strategy 2 we had £27 profit. And now strategy 1's down to £2 profit and strategy 2's down to £8 profit. So everything was going well until last night. Hopefully that's just a blip. So if it is going well after Saturdays and Sundays games this weekend, I might up the stakes to £5 starting next week. And we'll see how we get on then. So that's it for now. That's all I wanted to run through really. If you're doing any trading, or if you've got any match betting on, or if you've got any sort of mug betting on, I hope everything goes well over the weekend. I'm off out now for a few beers for my friend's birthday, and I'll be keeping an eye on these games on my mobile phone. Got the Betfair, one thing I wanted to mention, I've got the Betfair exchange loaded on the phone, ready for today, so I can get some trades in at half time on these games while I'm out and about. And because I've got the Betfair exchange loaded, it started sending me notifications, and it seemed to have great pleasure when I woke up this morning in informing me of these 2 draws last night. They were the only 2. Obviously, because I'd placed a trade on them, the only 2 that I just turned my phone on. There's this big notification there. Benfica 1-1 and Lille 0-0. Go away. I didn't really want to be reminded of that. Anyhow, have a great weekend, everyone. Cheers. Bye.